From Central Indiana's #1 news source, this is Fox 59 Tonight.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 59 Tonight. I'm Cameron Riddle. We appreciate you downloading our smart TV app, Fox 59 Now. It's on Roku, it's on Fire TV, Amazon TV, Samsung TV, and Apple TV. There we go. We got everybody. There's 5 of them. It's out there. And also hit the subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube so you never miss anything that we are talking about every night at 8 o'clock here on Fox 59 Tonight. It's a show about resources today. I love when we can tell you about resources because with the way things are right now, everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody can use a little bit of help with something probably. And if that also is true if you own a business. Now, I own a business, and I know how hard things can be, especially when you are starting up. You're trying to keep things afloat. You're really going paycheck to paycheck, invoice to invoice, payment to payment, just to keep things afloat. And it's like, when will you ever be able to grow? Especially until you get to that 2-year mark. But before that, there's just not a lot of help out there. But especially with this economy, hey, kind of helpful to have your own business and be able to make your own schedule and whatnot. But there is a place, an organization here in Indianapolis that does want to make that part easier for you. Build Fund. We've introduced you to them before. As it says right here on their website, buildfund.org, connecting businesses to flexible, affordable, and responsible funding. I'm telling you, if you have a business, then you know exactly how hard it is to find funding to keep things afloat. But where do you even learn about these things? What do you need? What are the facts? To tell us more about that in our studio is Devin Day. He's with Build Fund. He's got all the information, and he and his team at Build Fund are ready to help you. Hi, Devin.
Hi, hello. How you doing today?
I'm good now that I got your microphone turned on. I'm great.
Good.
I'm great.
Good.
So thank you again for coming. Thank you for what you guys do at Build Fund. I want as many people as possible to know about what you guys do. So if people have never heard of Build Fund, if they missed one of our previous shows, what is it?
Okay. Well, great to be here. So Build Fund is what we are, a community development financial institution. So you might hear CDFI. So I won't bring a lot of acronyms into place, but that's what we are. And so what we do is we provide lending to small businesses who are looking to acquire commercial property, need equipment, or need some working capital. We work with businesses who have experienced difficulty, who may or may not experience difficulty working with a traditional bank. So you think about your local banks, your credit unions. You might have tried to get a loan from them, and they might have denied you. And so that's where the CDFIs come into play, because we are funded primarily to help businesses fill that gap. And so our goal is to provide you with that capital that you need to grow and scale your business. And then after you work with us, our next goal for you is to connect you to our traditional banks so that you can access greater capital.
Who can, well, how do you find out, do I qualify? Can Build Fund even help me?
Yeah, so our website's a great place to start. There we have an intake form where you can fill out. It gives just some general information about yourself, your business, and kind of what you need the funds for. Really what we're looking for, just as you mentioned, Cameron, businesses who have been around for at least 2 years. Now, if you've been just maybe just short of that, 18 months, that's a great place. We want to work with you then. We're basically wanting to see what you've done in the past. So your first 2 years, looking at assessment of that. And then we're going to see what's up next for you, what the next 2 years look like for you and your business. And so that's really where we qualify. Again, the eligibility requirements are pretty much, if you're looking for commercial acquisition, equipment, or working capital, those are the things we can work with. And if you're a for-profit business only. So
if you're a nonprofit, this isn't for you.
Yeah, but there's other CDFIs that work with nonprofits.
Okay.
And so, don't let that stop you. You connect with us, and we will connect you with the CDFI that works only with nonprofits.
Okay, so buildfund.org, good place to start. But beyond the website, you guys are also hosting some classes and different things like that that people can attend to learn more. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So we realize even though we work with businesses who have been denied from with a bank or a credit union, sometimes we encounter businesses who aren't quite ready for us, and so instead what we've done is, and we really work on and I work with staff to say, we don't deny anyone, we tell them that they're not ready yet. And so
Mm-hmm.
what we've done is to really put the program together, a 6-month program where businesses can work on some of the items that we've identified of areas of opportunity that they should work on to
Mm-hmm.
get qualified for our loan. And so what we have is we have a cohort. We call it a pre-technical assistance program, but basically it's a program designed that provides education to businesses on completing like your financial. So, the balance sheet. What is a balance sheet? Your profit and loss. What does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
And projections. And we help them create those, understand them, analyze those, and decide like how much loan they can actually afford. We also pair them with marketing. So marketing is a big component of business. How do you market your business? Where do you market? Social media, website. Some businesses have websites, some don't.
Mm-hmm.
We have classes for that. But we also work with businesses with project management. Is that something that is needed for your business? We have a special program for contractors who are building homes for low to moderate income families.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a construction manager that we worked with. Another component in our upcoming class is legal protections and insurance. So is your business set up correctly? Is the LLC appropriate, or is the LP more appropriate for your business? And so we talk about a number of different things, even human resources and how to maintain your customer, how to interact with your customers. So we kind of listened to what was needed in the community, and from our partners and businesses in the community. And we've designed those classes with that in mind. And so it's not me or my team that's presenting these classes. We actually have sourced consultants. So these are subject matter experts
Mm-hmm.
that are actually teaching these classes in front of and it's a small group of 10 businesses that we're working with. And the whole idea is that with that, after this 6-month program, we're actively working with them to get to the point where we can blend to them. And so that's what we're preaching to them every 2 weeks we meet. When we have a special staff person that's assigned to those work with the businesses to help them get to that point. And so, in January, we're like, okay, so now you're done. So our next step is for you to complete your application so that we can get you into our pipeline for approvals.
And look, there's a video of you while we're talking to
Mhm.
you. Um, so you said this is a 6-month course, right?
Yes.
Um, when and how often are you holding these courses?
Yeah. So again, it's 6 months. So we just started. It will actually in September. We'll end a little end of January. We'll take like a month to kind of do some finishing up, tie up some loose ends with the first cohort, and then with this cohort, and then we'll start again in the early spring. So we're anticipating starting in March, and then it'll run again for the next 6 months with a similar program. And all classes are in person because we do want to meet you, we do want to understand you as just an individual first,
Mm-hmm.
and then we want to understand your business as well and how we can best help.
Who best? Like I said, um, a lot of people usually in that first 2 years of businesses, it's hard to get credit, hard to get loans and all that because you're still building.
Mhm.
But who would you target for these classes?
I mean, anyone that actually is needing, who is seeking funding for their business, who actually has a demonstrated need or desire for a bit for their business. So I would say if you're looking for commercial acquisition or you need a piece of equipment that's going to help you, say you have a contract, you need a piece of equipment to complete your contract, or you just need some working capital because you have some big project and you just need some funding to help you get to the next phase of your project. That's a great candidate for us. So if you are, any business. that is we really like to work with businesses like you said, Cameron, that are within that early 2 year phase. They've been working, they've maybe been using some of their own personal cash as to fund or operate their business, and now they're at the point where, okay, I'm at the point where I need to scale. So
Hmm.
what does lending look like for me to get to that next step? And so those are great candidates. And we have a different types of businesses in our portfolio that we've worked with. So we've worked with a cider company who's been with us probably since Bill Funds started, 3 different loans with us, commercial acquisition as well as equipment. We've worked with contractors who are building low to moderate income homes. We have daycares in our portfolio, a fitness business in our portfolio, a landscaping business. So I would say we're really interested in diversifying our portfolio. So I would say we give us a shot, and then we will let how best we can work with you. And even if we're not the best fit, our goal with our team is to find the best fit for your business. And so we work with other organizations very similar to us that will put you in the best position so that they can service you the best.
So at Build Fund, um, you're educating people on their options and different things that are out there. But that's just one of several services that you guys actually offer. Is that's the education part? There's other parts.
Mhm.
What are those?
Yeah. So one of the bigger things that we see with business owners is that credit is always a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're buying a home, you'll hear banks and credit unions talk about your credit score.
Mm-hmm.
Bank with financial institutions and even CDFIs with the small businesses, credit is also a big component of lending. But with bill funding and with some other CDFIs, we don't necessarily look at credit as the criteria for that because we understand businesses and just individuals have had different experiences with credit. But what we know, well, again, as I mentioned, working with us is probably it's one step, but the next step is to get you to the traditional bank or the credit union that's going to provide greater capital to you. So what we've done on our team is that we really want to work with our bank partners to
Mm-hmm.
educate businesses on the importance of credit, especially your personal credit, because building your personal credit is
Mm-hmm.
going to be the pathway for you to access business credit. And so before we can even talk about business credit, we have to have the discussion with your personal credit. And so we are actually having a class on November the 12th, on 20th, where we're having a bank come in and talk about financial literacy, but also, and not just financial literacy, just, okay, are you paying your bills on time
Mm-hmm.
or your credit cards? We'll talk about that, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really designed for business owners, and it's any business owner, and it's not just with businesses that are in our portfolio. We're
Mm-hmm.
open this up to the public, and so any business owner who is interested in learning about how to obtain funding from a CDFI are definitely welcome to register. And again, you can register on our website. It is on there, and we will send you RSVP and tell you all where to go. We also provide some, it's at 6 o'clock, so we know people are getting off work or there's transition, so there's some food there for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll get to meet staff and have that conversation with us. But we definitely, those are some items that we have, that we offer the community. In addition to financial literacy, we also understand that business owners need a place to kind of connect with each other. And
Mm-hmm.
so networking is another
Mm-hmm.
component of what we do in the community. So we just hosted a networking session in conjunction with another CDFI here in the Indianapolis area, where business owners got together. We as lenders and funders, we're not, we're experts at that, but businesses can learn from each other. And so
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that we've learned is that we want to put them together. And so we had our first session in July. It was attended very well. We had over 60 businesses attend, at a local shop, a local small business here in the city. That's something that's important too with us. We support small businesses, so we host small businesses, and all of our caterers and things are from small businesses as well. So it's kind of that ecosystem we're building. But our next networking session that we're planning is December the 12th. And so again, right before the holidays, I get it, but
Mhm.
we want to provide another opportunity for businesses to get to know each other, to learn from each other in a place, and even exchange and network and maybe find business from just each other.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but you mentioned it. So uh, when does a business go or a business owner go from using their personal credit to their business credit? Like, what does that bridge look like, and where? I mean, you'll explain that in the class, but give us a little teaser. When does that switch?
I mean, I really think it starts when you are at the place where you are needing to scale your business.
Hmm.
So if you have a contract with, I'm just going to use an example here. Say you're a contractor and you got a big contract with like a agency, and you're going to do a big rehab job. That may be a good opportunity for you to maybe think about how lending can help you. So you may have, like, I'm just going to say a 401k or some savings or things that you may have, that you can fund the deal with.
Hmm.
Those are good. Those are good resources to have. But for me as a lender, and I won't go too deep in the details here, but me as a lender, one thing I'm looking at there is like, okay, so you have this collateral. So collateral means that, if the deal or the loan goes bad, we have a way to repay that.
Hmm.
So, so that's the money you have. But do you want to use that your savings? Do you want to
Right.
deplete your savings to do
Right.
that, or with this loan with this low interest rate,
Hmm.
provide you with that capital so that you complete that job, and then you could pay that off when get when you're getting your contract repaid, and
Hmm.
then that way you're saving some of um your equity, so some of that your savings or 401k or other whatever means that you're using to fund your business for those 2 years. So
And
I,
it's also coming at a slower rate that you're paying it back than all at once, and boom, savings is gone. You got nothing.
Right, exactly. And so one of the things that with business owners, and even that we preach and talking about classes, and even with our current portfolio, is that you always want to have that nest egg or that savings. And
Hmm.
so what are we doing to secure that savings? Sometimes we have to dip into that savings just as your personal, everyone has a personal savings account, or and we all want to save as much as possible, but there's times where we can leverage those savings and say, okay, now I have that just in case, but now I could use this grant or this loan, and that loan can be paid over a longer period of time with smaller payments, and then that can help you grow your business.
So where do you learn? Because like we all get a credit score somehow. I don't know when we got one, but you get a credit score, and it's associated with your social security number and yada yada yada. But when you have a business, then you get an EIN number.
Mhm.
When do you start, or do you apply for credit as a business? How does that? Is that something that you'll learn in the courses?
Well, I mean, you can. I think you get. We'll definitely talk about that in the courses, especially with our accountant that we bring on. About when to do that, but when you are starting your business, I would say I would say maybe think about your EIN number is your business number. But
Hmm.
again, as I mentioned before, like most especially in the 2 year space, I wouldn't want businesses to think about using business credit yet, because banks are, and even CDFIs are not even looking at that at a particular point, because you don't have enough history for your business for them to feel comfortable in
Hmm.
lending to you. So what they're putting their hat on is your personal. So I would say work if there's issues, or if there's opportunities for you to increase your credit score, or to decrease debt that you have. I would work on that first, because that's one of the biggest things that's going to help you navigate to get to that next step. So I wouldn't even really mention the business part of it. Your
Hmm.
EIN, that's something that's just something you have to have in business.
Hmm.
But and even all the CDFIs, we also work with a collaborative of other CDFIs in Indianapolis, and we all preach the same thing or talk about the same thing. Personal credit is where we would want businesses to spend their time.
So we've been talking a lot about um, businesses and scaling. But depending on the business, you also may need a physical location that you may need to obtain. Do you guys help with that kind of thing, helping to secure properties?
Yes. So one of our consultants we work with is commercial broker, and so she works specifically with businesses to identify spaces that work for them. And so the broker works closely with our team. Where we'll do an assessment of your financials. So again, we'll need those. But basically, we're looking to see how much of a facility, how much you can afford. And so we
Mm-hmm.
don't want to put you in front of places and you get all excited about it, and then it's like, oh, I don't know about that payment. When you get to
Mm-hmm.
me,
Mm-hmm.
we want to say, okay, this is how much we're comfortable in lending, but we want you to feel comfortable in lending that as well with the business owner. So um, yes, that is something that we've done. We've also, with a CDFI partner, can provide some down payment and closing cost assistance with that as well. So if that's something of interest to you, definitely reach out to myself or a team member. Fill out that intake form on our website. That's going to be your first access into getting those resources. But yes, that is something that Build Fund actually specializes in, is commercial acquisition for businesses who are looking for to secure a property for themselves, for their business.
I was on the website and I saw that there is a real estate fund for Black-owned businesses, and you guys are accepting applications now. What is this, and how is it different from the other programs?
So yeah, it works in conjunction. It's solely for businesses again who are looking for commercials to purchase commercial space. And so again, it's for Black business owners.
Mm-hmm.
And so we work with another CDFI um, that provides this down payment and closing costs. So basically, if you're looking for a property and you need we can provide up to 10% of down payment and closing costs. So if you're looking for a property and it's $100,000, we can provide $10,000 of closing costs, and it varies. And so we've used the product multiple times for some of our businesses here this year in 24. The day we had a couple of daycare facilities that utilized this grant program. Our most recent business who utilized this program was a fitness business, and it was a woman-owned fitness business who has a specialty working with women who don't want to go to the gym,
Mm-hmm.
traditional gyms, and so she was able to obtain, I think it was $40,000 from us, or from the grant, and to use to purchase her commercial property. She was leasing a space. She couldn't necessarily service everyone in the current space, and
Mm-hmm.
she had a waiting list, and so we're like, all right. So she's like, I need a space now, and so we were able to accommodate her and find a space.
So you have to be a Black-owned business located in Marion County with a business annual gross revenue of 2.5 million or less.
Yes,
Businesses and business operating at least 2 years. So there's that 2 years again.
yes, yep.
So um, when and that was this part year round, is can you always submit an application on this year?
Yeah, as long as we have funding, and we still have funding available for that, we are always fundraising, and we've done that. And so, yes, I would not let as soon as possible. So if definitely are interested in the program, definitely let us know. But there's funding still available.
I didn't mean to click this, but literally the next thing I was going to ask you is, what are some success stories? And then I clicked on it on the website. What are some success stories of businesses who've been able to work with Build Fund? You mentioned daycares. I know daycares are going through a lot right
Yeah.
now with the cuts to CCDF funding and everything.
Mhm.
And I know lots of people are closing, but um, what are some people that have had success?
So there's one company that I had in mind. They came to us in 24. They were a business who were seeking some working capital, and so we worked with them, and they just wasn't quite ready yet. Just those financial documents. We asked for a profit and loss statement. We asked for all the balance sheets and all the things we need, and all the financial lender talk that we needed, and they just looked at us with kind of their, they're like, we don't have that. And
Mm-hmm.
so what we told them was, we seen they had been in business for like 3 years at that point, and we're like, okay, you've been working, but we actually need these documents for you to grow. And so
Mm-hmm.
what we've done, we placed them with a consultant, and that consultant worked with them. They listened to us, and they were a really good case study for us because we gave them everything they needed to do. And this was probably around March of 24. I would say, and then around this time last 24 last year, they were actually awarded a loan from us, and so they accomplished everything they needed to do. We were able to get that through our loan committee, who approves all our loans, and they are really doing well. They are actually working here in Indianapolis. They've secured contracts around the state now. They are making on-time payments. They are communicating with us. They are really that shining star for us.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I would mention would be the fitness business. She worked with us over a year, and so what I say with businesses is to keep going. Don't let no be your answer. She had worked with another CDFI who got her to one point, and then that CDFI couldn't help her anymore, and so she moved on to us, who was looking for that commercial space. Again, with commercial space, you have zoning and regulations that have to happen. She needed some couple things that needed to be done in terms of zoning related items, which delayed her progress. And she just kept herself encouraged. She kept even our team encouraged because we were like, we want to get this closed. We want to get this closed.
Mm-hmm.
And every mile marker we got to, there was another hurdle that we had to cross. And
Mm-hmm.
so we actually had to work in partnership with that business owner to get it done. And so this time in July of this year, we closed her loan, and it was
Wow.
so impactful to us and even to the business owner. She was so happy to get it done. I think we didn't even believe that we got it done. But that's part of what we do with
Mm-hmm.
Build Fund, is that we build that rapport with businesses
Mm-hmm.
and the with the business and the business owner. And we get to know you, and so we feel your pain. We're going to advocate for you. We're going to make sure that we can do whatever we can to make sure you get across that finish line. And that was a really good demonstration of all of our team pulling that one into play. I had to talk to the city myself. I had to advocate for her. Like, hey, she has this loan. Like, we're ready to go. We're not the hold up here.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do to expedite this? And so even as a lender, and usually as a lender, most that's not something that is in our wheelhouse to do. But I really felt strongly about this business and her and what she was offering to the community. And so I thought it was important for me to kind of step out of my traditional role and see if I could help in any
Mm-hmm.
way. And so that was and with that we were able to kind of move a little quicker. And so that's another story we have. And even
But it also shows that you guys are there's a personal touch to this as well.
yes.
That you guys will help get people to where they have to go, even when maybe it doesn't seem like it's so possible because it's hey we do this all the time and it doesn't work, and it always works, but not with you. But you guys didn't give up on her, so that's good.
Yeah, and being a community development financial institution, we are allowed to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
So when you work with a traditional bank, I'm not knocking traditional
Yeah,
banks,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they have such volume, and so they not maybe don't have the time to
Mm-hmm.
dedicate to work with your business. But with CDFI, we'll work with you. We're going to spend time with you. We're going to tell you, if you're ready or you're not, and if you're not, we're going to say not yet, but this is what you need to do to get ready. But we work with local banks too, and they partner with us and say they have the similar story. It's just they may not have all the time that they can dedicate to each business like we can.
As we get ready to wrap up, these services, this information, is free.
Yep, it's definitely free. There's an application process for the cohort technical assistance program. Again, it's just we're looking for businesses again in that 18 months to your point where they're looking to either commercial acquisition, equipment, or working capital. Those are pretty much the criteria there. For-profit business, really wanting and needing lending to
Mm-hmm.
scale their business, and so that's really what we're looking for. We'll work with the group, the 10. If you can't work with the 10 and you don't fit necessarily in that window, don't let that stop you. We can still work with you. We still want to work with you. That's just more of a concentrated effort to work with selected businesses, but we do some one-on-one coaching or business development with you as well. So, just reach out anytime. And that intake form is your first way for us to know and get to know who you are as a business owner.
All right. Devin Day, thank you so much for coming on. Buildfund.org is the website. You see it right there, buildfund.org, to find out more. There was something, the date stuck with me was November 12th.
Joe, November the 20th is
November
our
the 20th.
financial literacy
Okay.
course. And then December the 12th, we're having a networking group. So we'll look on the website for more information.
All right. That sounds good. Devin, thank you very much. More of Fox 59 Tonight is coming up after this.